Welcome to another episode of Craig Loves Cooking. Today we're making biscuits. Light, fluffy biscuits coming right hot out of the oven. You're gonna absolutely love these. They're so simple. The best part is that there are only 2 ingredients, and probably you have both of them in your house right now. So let's go ahead and let's get cooking. To get started today, we're going to begin by turning on and preheating our oven to 450 degrees. Go ahead and turn that on now, and then we're going to go right ahead and start mixing our ingredients. One of the best parts of this recipe is that it uses ingredients that you have on hand, and if not, you can do some simple planning and have it on hand. We're going to be using heavy whipping cream and self-rising flour. That's really the only 2 ingredients. As far as the heavy whipping cream, a lot of people don't have this on hand all the time, but we bought this fresh at Publix, but you can go ahead and you can buy it at Trader Joe's. They have it in the packages that are good. They have a shelf life for a couple of months. You can always have this on hand, so you can make this recipe anytime you want. Make sure you're paying attention because this goes really fast. The first thing we'll need is 2 cups of self-rising flour. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, you can easily make it by just taking 2 cups of regular all-purpose flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon salt, and that will substitute for the flour. But self-rising flour is a nice thing to have on hand, so a couple of recipes call for it. It's a nice thing to have handy in case you need it. Now right now I'm just sort of fluffing it up because it tends to get packed down. I don't use my self-rising flour as much as I do my all-purpose flour. Then go ahead and just measure out 2 cups. The only other ingredient you need is heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream has a very high fat content, so that takes care of putting the butter in our biscuit that we usually do. It takes the place of all that, and you just need 1.5 cups of that. And then we'll just take that and pour that right into our flour. Just mix those together, and I usually use a biscuit mix. I love the biscuit mix that you can buy in the store, but this is so much easier because I always have this stuff hanging around. But then just mix these together. Doesn't take a whole lot of mixing. It starts to make the dough pretty quick. Make sure you're getting all the way down in the corners because that heavy cream is so thick that it is a little bit hard to incorporate compared to, just putting regular milk or something in. And you don't want to mix it any more than you have to. So just make sure, I kind of poke at it, kind of make sure everything's getting together. Now, if you find it's too dry, you can always add just a little bit more whipping cream. But I wouldn't add too much. That to me looks a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more on top. Once it's formed into a dough, just go ahead and set that off to the side. And you wanna flour your surface a little bit here. I just spread it right here on the counter. And then turn this out onto it. This is just your regular biscuit dough. And some people like to use a rolling pin on it. I just flatten it out with my hands. I like the way it sort of gives a nice texture to the top of the biscuits. Once you get it about that thick, biscuit thick, then go ahead and take your biscuit cutter and just start cutting out your biscuits. Then get your pan and just start laying them out. I like them to touch just a little bit I like when you have biscuits and they pull apart just a little bit at the sides. Now I have a biscuit cutter, as you see, and I do like it. However, you don't really need one. Usually, or before I got my biscuit cutter, I just used a small cup. We have these IKEA cups. It's the perfect size. You just put it on and push it down and get your biscuit cut that way. But now that I have one, I use it. Seems like I always have one little spot of dough at the end that's almost the size of a biscuit. Looks about the right size. It's usually a little bigger or a little thicker, but I went ahead and put those prepared biscuits in the oven. They're gonna cook for about 10 to 12 minutes until they're nice and golden brown on top. I find that it takes my oven about 10 minutes, but you just have to watch them because remember, every oven's a little bit different, and also it's affected by how thick they are and those kind of factors, so just keep an eye on them. All right, I just got these out of the oven, and boy, do they look and smell amazing. The smell of these is killing me. So before I try one, go ahead and like this recipe, give me a thumbs up, click on subscribe. You don't want to miss any of the recipes that are coming. Let's go ahead and try one. Oh, it's incredible. They're flaky, they come apart, steam's coming off of them. There is nothing like a good biscuit, and that is a good biscuit. So go ahead, remember it's only 2 ingredients, as simple as can be. Go ahead and make yourself some biscuits. We'll see you next time on Craig Loves Cooking because Craig loves eating. Have a good one.